Right now, somewhere in the Nevada desert, a building the size of 6 football fields is humming with cold air and blinking lights. Inside that building, stacked in rows that stretch further than you can see, are your vacation photos, your voice memos, your half-finished resume from 2019. Your files don't float in some magical cloud. They live in a giant locker room you've never visited, will probably never see, and trust completely. Welcome to Analogy Studio. Today, the truth about the cloud. How a storage facility you've never stepped inside became the most important room in your digital life. Imagine a guy named Dev. Dev lives in a 1-bedroom apartment in the city. Nice place, small kitchen, 1 closet. And that closet is a disaster. Winter coats stuffed on top of old textbooks, a guitar case wedged sideways, 3 boxes of cables he swears he'll sort next weekend. One afternoon, Dev tries to shove a suitcase in there, and the door won't close. He's out of room. So he drives across town to a massive self-storage facility, the kind with long concrete hallways and fluorescent lights that buzz. A woman at the front desk, Priya, hands him a key and a unit number. "Locker 7214, she says. "It's yours as long as you pay the monthly." Dev walks down a corridor lined with hundreds of identical metal doors. He finds 7214, clicks the padlock open, slides his boxes inside, and locks it again. Done? His apartment breathes again. A week later, he needs his winter coat. He drives back, unlocks 7214, grabs the coat, locks up, drives home. Easy. But here's what Dev doesn't think about. He's trusting Priya's facility with everything. He trusts that locker 7214 won't flood. He trusts that no one else has a copy of his key. He trusts that the building won't burn down. And mostly, he trusts that the facility will still be there next month. That's exactly what happens every time you tap Save to Google Drive or Upload to iCloud. Your photo leaves your phone, travels through undersea cables and fiber optic lines, and lands in a building, a real, physical building called a data center, where it gets stored on a server rack assigned to your account. Your own digital Locker 7214. The cloud is not a cloud. It's someone else's computer. Specifically, rows and rows of servers sitting in massive climate-controlled warehouses run by companies like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. The real-world mechanism behind this is called distributed data storage. Your single photo doesn't just sit on one server. It gets copied across multiple data centers in different locations. Google, for instance, replicates your data across at least 3 geographically separate facilities. If one warehouse loses power, your files still exist somewhere else. The benefits are real. You can access your files from any device, anywhere. If your phone falls in a lake, your photos survive. A single data center can hold exabytes of data. That's roughly 1 billion gigabytes, but the trade-off is trust. You're handing your files, personal photos, financial documents, private messages, to a company and hoping their locker room has better security than your apartment closet. And sometimes it doesn't. Data breaches, outages, and policy changes can lock you out of your own stuff or expose it to strangers. There is no cloud. There are very organized, very expensive locker rooms. And you're renting a unit in one whether you realize it or not. Your data has a physical address. It sits on a hard drive in a building that uses electricity, water for cooling, and armed guards. When that building has a problem, your data has a problem. Redundancy is your safety net. Companies copy your files across multiple locations, but only if you're using a service that does this well. You don't own the locker room. If the company changes its terms, raises prices, or shuts down, your access disappears. Your stuff is only yours as long as the landlord says so. Understanding this one truth changes how you think about every file you've ever saved to the cloud. Subscribe to keep demystifying tech